Today we're tackling illegal immigration. Why is it so deeply debated? Why is it one of America's most pressing issues? And what can history teach us about enforcing our borders without losing our humanity? Now, before we dive in, let's challenge each other with facts and respect. Leave a comment with your opinion. If you stand strong in that opinion, back it up. Respond to someone else who differs with you. Let's start a constructive argument and work towards a solution that's going to make this world a better place. So what is illegal immigration really? Illegal immigration refers to people entering or staying in this country without legal permission, whether they're crossing the border illegally or they're overstaying their visa. It's one of the most polarizing issues, tied to everything from healthcare, national security, and economic policy. Some say we need to secure the border, protect American jobs, and uphold the rule of law. Others argue we have people from other countries fleeing persecution, violence, and poverty. We need to provide legal pathways for them to get here rather than focusing on punishing them. Basically, we've got one side who sees this as a crisis of law and order. The other side sees this as a crisis of compassion. And where you stand largely depends on how your family got here, or how someone you knew got here without the proper papers. Let's take a step back in history to gain a better perspective. The open door era, in the 1800s to the early 1900s. Most immigrants weren't called illegal. They came here with no passports, no paperwork. We needed labor, they provided it. Then there was the 1924 Immigration Act, otherwise known as the Johnson-Reed Act. This restricted which immigrants could come to the United States. Lawmakers said this was to preserve the American character. How do you feel about this? The law set strict quotas favoring people from Northern and Western Europe, like Germany, Ireland, England, while at the same time it severely restricted people from Southern and Eastern Europe, Italy, Poland, Russia. And here's the kicker. It completely barred immigration from Asia. Fast forward to post-1965 reforms. Legal pathways for immigrants expanded. The need for labor increased, while the visas were lagging behind. This opened the door for an explosion of illegal immigration. And for decades, there's been an ongoing gray area. Crackdown with one hand, higher with the other hand. Let's listen to sound bites from historical figures of the past to reflect their stance on immigration. Emma Lazarus. In 1883, she wrote the poem The New Colossus about the Statue of Liberty. This was to raise money for the pedestal in which it stood. Give me your tired, your poor, your huddled masses yearning to breathe free. Ronald Reagan, our 40th President of the United States, a Republican. I believe in amnesty for those who've put down roots and lived here, even if they entered illegally. Barack Obama, our 44th President, a Democrat. We're a nation of laws, but also a nation of immigrants. America has always tried to balance enforcement with compassion, and rarely gets it perfect. Let's turn to Greek mythology. The ancient story of Troy. The Greeks could not breach the walls. They built a horse. The Trojans let him in. Inside that horse, Greek soldiers. Troy fell. Some say illegal immigration is our Trojan horse. But here's the twist. Not everyone inside is a threat. Some just want a shot at life. Still, if we ignore the risks, or we criminalize everyone, we either let danger walk in, or we lose our souls trying to stop it. Now let's lighten the mood with a little stand-up comedy. We've got two comedians, each with a different view on immigration. Noah's more conservative in his approach, whereas Duncan is more of a progressive.
Look, all I'm saying is, you want to live here, learn the language, and pay your taxes like the rest of us. I mean, hell, I had to take a quiz to ride a scooter with less horsepower than my lawnmower. At least you could do is take a quiz to come to the country before you stir up some trouble here. I don't hate immigrants. I just don't think it's fair that I make too much money bagging groceries to qualify for basic health insurance. But you're a low-income, undocumented immigrant, boom, full health care. Let me clarify that for you. I sneeze wrong and hurt my back, my whole family goes bankrupt. But if I wake up at 6 a.m. in the morning pissed off because an immigrant is blowing leaves with his leaf blower and I shoot him, I get 20 years to life. What does he get? Full-blown health coverage. Noah says we should start quizzing the immigrants before they come in. Aye, all right then. Let's start with you naming the 3 branches of governments, eh? Aye, nothing. Blank stare. But you got a tattoo of a bald eagle on your butt cheek and a stronger opinion on immigration than a guy who's actually read a book. I've read a book. And for all you complaining about immigrants taking your jobs, think about this. One crosses the border without any money, no car, no contacts on his phone, and he still steals your job. I got news for you. You never had a job. You had a chore, and you're shite at it. Let's be honest with ourselves. They ain't taking our place at NASA building rocket ships. That's right, they're patching the rooftop over our heads while we sit in our boxers eating flaming hot Cheetos while racking up a credit card bill on Amazon, watching Netflix till our soul dies a so painful death. Yeah, I'm sitting at home in my boxers eating flaming hot Cheetos. You want to know why? Because after taxes and paying my power bill, that's all I can afford to eat for me and my family. Meanwhile, the immigrant patching rooftops getting paid under the table, he's sharing rent with 3 other families. And I'm the bad guy.
Now it's your turn. Let's talk about borders without building walls between each other. Join the community in the comments section below. Let's work towards making a positive change. I'll leave you with a quote from Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. We all came on different ships, but we're all here on the same boat. I love you.